Hey y'all, Sam the Midwest Handyman. Today I'm finally going to talk about my deck. I've been putting this off and putting this off because there's a huge mess behind me, but I think I had to eat my own words and it doesn't have to be perfect. So without further ado, you're going to hear a bunch of machines pop up any minute in the background. It is what it is, but I want to show you guys how much you can actually grow in containers on your deck. Yes, I do have a pretty big deck. I know I'm always preaching balcony planting, but anyways, let's get into it. First up on the docket, first and foremost, they'll tell you only one plant per 5-gallon container. I'm here to tell you, you can do it with less. Of course, it may produce more and grow bigger. Did I still get produce? Absolutely. So I've got 2 Brandywine in this guy. I've got, I think, actually 3 Carnival Bells in this one. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this plant. I've already pulled one last night, and I had pulled one earlier. So my tomatoes aren't looking too hot. We did just come out of the 100-degree weather, and it's going to hit us again next week. So I've got Best Boys, 2 in that pot. My black chocolate cherry tomatoes. In my hanging baskets here, I did do some cucumbers. The biggest problem I had was my pollination. So if you guys have been following along at all, I just had Battle of the Wasps. I finally got them all out of what is going to be the chicken coop. And so it has been a battle, but look how small this pot is. I've got 2 vines in each. Ran them up, let them run across my lights. I think you know what? Look, if you can see, that one doesn't look too hot. It's curled on the end. Again, the pollination. Were these the best thing to plant the cucumbers in? No, but I love a good plant experiment. Over here, we've got the, still up for debate, they were supposed to be hot Italian pepperoncinis, unless I mixed up my seeds, and these were my shishitos. My Romas are looking great. Jalapenos. Eggplant. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 eggplants in this. I had to pull one because, again, pollination, but this one's looking great. Over here, I've got tomatillos. So we've got our first tomatillos coming here. Full disclosure, I am going to go ahead and pull the tomatillos and the okra and put them out on my ladder in the garden because they are pretty tall, and I have extra pots, and I have some more tomatoes and green peppers for fall that I'm going to go ahead and fill in here because I do think these tall guys would be a little more happy in my garden, and that's where the rest of my okra and tomatillos are. So I want these 2 to help pollinate the rest of them. They could be self-pollinating, so don't quote me on that, but I think we're just going to keep them together. I left these on purpose for you guys. My peas were doing awesome until they burned up in the heat. It is August 30th. After this video is done later tonight, I'm yanking these and I'm restarting my peas. It's the perfect time because it is going to, I got one more heat shock coming at us this week of 100 degrees. That's actually when I'm going to throw a whole bunch of seeds in the ground because I know they're going to really quickly pollinate. Let's see. What do we have on this one? Is my... Oh, look. Look what we have. Is it on camera? We got a little praying mantis up here visiting. Very cool. Is it dead? Nope, it's moving. Is it? Yep, there we go. Very cool. These were our hot chilies. And then I've got my habaneros, my other peas. It's also not too late to start cucumbers, guys. I'm going to start another round of cucumbers. I'm also going to start green beans. I'll show you. I'm going to pull my lima beans. I'll do that in another video. But they are growing right in front of my porch here. So These are my pear tomatoes. Let me see if I can, one of them's hanging out over here. And let's see if I can remember what this was. These look like early treat. So they're like a very large cherry. I have tiny hands, but you can see these were my Big Jim chilies. This poor pot has been thrown off my deck a couple times. So it's broken here. I went ahead and snipped it, but it's still growing out the side. I got flowers coming in. And I think these are my super beef. I'm going to tell you guys, I've really been struggling to get my super beef. This one got pretty burned, but I do have fresh growth at the top. I know everyone's preaching the topping right now. I'm not doing that. I bottom prune everything. I'm going to keep going. All these are going to keep going until they stop producing completely or the frost hits. I do not play about. I do not tear down my garden until spring. To each their own. One last thing I want to show you, and I know I'm a little too close and we're battling the light here, but I did do, well, maybe we can see it on that one. I was able to put some, look at my horrible ceiling. This is a rental and nobody cares that I'm here. Anywho, I did put some hooks up. I know you guys won't be able to do that everywhere you live. I was able to do that here, Slumlord for the win. I put some hooks up there and was able to help. I also, when they were smaller, I do have these bamboo poles in them, and I scored these at the dollar store. How cool was that? So I've got them tied up variously also so they don't get thrown off the deck in a storm. But I just wanted to show you guys that I know, you know, if you don't have a yard, if you're physically limited, I think you can grow so much more than you realize. And my whole thing is, if I'm putting this much dirt in the pot, I'm not just putting one in there. Also, I'll tell you, each one of these has a void pot inside of it. Let me see if I can, about like this, maybe a little bigger in each of these. And I believe I even have one in the middle of these. So, yes, I have to water them every day. Absolutely, I do. Would they have produced more in the ground? Sure. Would I have to water them less? Sure. But where there's a will, there's a way. So I feel like sometimes the advice given on the internet just makes it seem like you really have to have, you know, all this stuff. Obviously, you know, this all costs money. I got really lucky. I picked these up at a thrift shop or a garage sale, these square ones for like $4 each. I used to be a landscaper, and we were planting the big mums in people's yards. And so I dumpster dove at the end of my shift and pulled all those out and took them home. So these are from Dollar General. Maybe they were $6. Nope, they were only $3. So yeah, you know, and dirt is not cheap, but all right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Best of luck. Let me know if you've grown anything odd in containers that I think people don't normally plant, or any suggestions, go-tos, tips, budget tips as well. So I don't know everything, but I am on a super budget. Again, I know, being a hoarder and a long-time gardener, I'm going to be ahead of you in the game if you're just starting out. But don't be afraid to curb score. Don't be afraid to ask on the internet and make a post locally. You'd probably be surprised how many people will come through and donate for you. So, all right, we'll see you guys in the next one.